YouTube. What's going on, guys? First of all, hello. Second, a proper tier list video for TA, finally. Shout out to Showzone. Guys, showzone.gg. Showzone.gg. Showzone. Those two words together. .gg. Link in the description. Check them out, man. This website is littered with really cool features that we will be taking advantage of in the coming days. First, we have a nice little fun video planned, but this first one is also very fun, but more to the point, right? Tier list, TA cards, ranking them. Not including the Riley Green, not including the Cole Reagans, because those are event cards, and therefore they do not count. No collection cards will be included here. It is just the 95s. Now, if you were on stream, we actually attempted to record this, and we had some technical difficulties, but we're good. We're good. Showzone has hooked me up with the ultra premium account here on their website, so we get the no ads and some cool features that I will be bringing to you guys and showing you guys why it's worth signing up and getting a membership. At least I think so. The best companion app for MLB the Show. Now, let's get into it, man. Tier list, Semien, Marcus Semien, all the way down in D tier. Now, if we go to a little cool feature here, bing, bang, boom. Go over here, we can see the hitting attributes. I mean, contact versus left, 125. Contact versus right, 79. I mean, no. Power versus left, 90. Power versus right, 84. And good clutch, right, 106. If there's guys on second or third base, he's not the worst card ever. And he could play the field a little bit of a noodle arm, but he could play the field. But personally, I just don't, he's too niche for me. If you like him, use him, but I think the numbers versus righties kind of kill him, right? Kind of kill him. Moving on, Carlos Correa, big fan of this card, A tier. The only thing holding him back, Carlos Correa, is that his fielding is like pretty good, okay, but he's slower, on the slower end, and reaction's not great, so that kind of holds him back, but his offensive capabilities are pretty elite, especially with the swing that he has. So definitely a fan of that card over there. I don't really have to get into it too much. We'll be showing you every card's attributes. I remember a lot of them off the top of my head, so you know, you guys can check them out, double check them on your own if you want, but we'll get into it. We'll show some here, actually one right now. So Ketel Marte, A tier, A tier card, not S tier, because I'll actually get into it now. I'll show you. Pretty much the issue being here that his, zoom in a little bit here. Where is he at? Hitting attributes, 90 contact, 70 power, 75 power versus right. Little weak. The clutch is great though at 110. So overall, because he's a switch hitter, because it's Ketel Marte, because he's incredible in the field, and he absolutely annihilates lefties with good clutch too as well, A tier. If he was a little better versus righties, he would be in S tier, obviously, but he's an A tier card. Next up, Brian Reynolds. I know this kind of goes against what I was talking about, but Brian Reynolds with Ketel Marte, because of the, you know, having something going wrong with him. Brian Reynolds is an okay left fielder at best, but he's got a gun out there, so it makes up for the lack of speed and the lack of fielding. And then overall, he's being heavily carried by his offense and being a switch hitter and having a great swing. So definitely a card that, you know, for S tier, for me, it's must have. I don't know if Ketel really makes that list, but I think Brian Reynolds does in terms of like, you're going for the new cards and new TA cards. Who are you grinding for first? It's hard not to put B-Ray in that conversation. Next up, CJ Abrams, A tier card. Really solid card, pretty good all around. A little bit, speaking of his hitting attributes, the contact versus right being 96 isn't insane, but it's not bad. Interesting splits. He is 109, 78 versus lefties, 96, 92 versus righties. With good fielding, way better fielding than he should. Clutch rating being 100, pretty solid around the board, all across the board there. Overall, not a bad card at all. And he plays a lot of positions. He's actually, I think, the best center fielding option out of all the TA cards that you can get in Team Affinity for free in the secondary. But pretty good, really good on the lefty team, by the way. Wish he fit Corbin Carroll, but he doesn't. So A tier. Altuve goes to B tier. Really hyper offensive, terrible in the field, an absolute liability, I think. Too slow, too small, too bad with the glove, too weak of an arm. Altuve's best fielding days seem to be behind him, but he's still raking, so definitely an option at DH. Ellie De La Cruz up there for probably the best TA card, S tier, easy. I don't have to get into Ellie, why he's so good. And if you're on Legend and his numbers don't look that appealing to you, Corbin Carroll team, you get plus 15 contacts, plus 10 plate vision, and then plus 5 reaction. covers all of his weaknesses really well. He's one of the best cards in the game on that team. So definitely pick him up. Even on his own, he's going to crush. I mean, I don't really got to explain Ellie that much, to be honest with you. Juan Soto. I'm going to go A tier. The swing, the offensive numbers, and the fact his fielding's a little bit underrated on paper. I know the speed's a little wonky with like 56, I think the number is, off the top of my head. But reactions, good, real solid, and the arm's better than people give him credit for. If those numbers were what they were and he was a left fielder, it'd be even better, because having that kind of defense in left field is usually better than what you'd have normally. But A tier on swing strength alone. Isak Paredes, I'm going to go B tier because he's not particularly impressive at many things, I don't think. And I don't really like his swing that much. I think it's kind of like a pretty hard to use swing. He feels like he's got like, who is it kind of remind me of? It's hard to think, but he's got like Maguire disease where he swings like straight down. If you like him, go for him. It's kind of niche for me. Fitz Devers team, I believe. Ryan McMahon, S tier card. Incredible offense. Really good defense at third and first, and second base can play there in a pinch too. Really big fan of this card. Very big fan of this card. We finally got a Ryan McMahon who's like usable on all difficulties and more than usable. Honestly, really solid. I love that card. My favorite TA card out of the ones I've used so far. Luis Arias, C tier. C tier. Yeah, I'll go C tier. The contacts are carrying him. He's got great swing, but his power numbers are weak-ish, obviously, and his fielding numbers are atrocious. So you can't even use him really at second base if we want to. I don't think he can, at least. I don't think he can. So the extra secondaries are kind of useless if he's kind of ass out there. So there's that. Christian Yelich, A tier. Mid defender, but 75 speed, but 99 steal. At P5, it's 80 speed. Offense is there, swings there. Not bad at all in left field. I like him. I always like Yelich as an option. As long as the numbers are, as long as he's usable in left field, the more parallel points you pump into him, the better he gets, and we know his swing carries. Salvador Perez, S tier card. One of the best offensive cards in the entire drop. Insane swing. Don't care that he's mid in defense. DH him if you need to. Rakes. Vladdy, I'll go A tier, I guess. I'm between A and B on him. It's because he's got 102, 107 contacts. Well, 107 versus righties, 102 versus lefties, but the powers are kind of low. 88 versus left, 83 versus righties. Clutch is at 100. Fielding is 75. Reaction 78. Yeah, action's pretty good. At P5, he's a gold at first with solid reaction and a kind of good arm too. And I think at P5, we're looking at 112, 93 versus righties, 107, 88 versus lefties. Yeah, honestly, I'll give him an A. Swing carries too. Very solid swing. I like Vladdy, actually. I like him. You can play third base too with those numbers. Pete, B tier at best. Well-rounded offensively, but nothing really impressive that stands out to me. So B tier. Josh Naylor. I like Josh, but he's an F. I like Josh, but he's an F, man. I mean, those numbers are brutal. We can just check in if you guys don't know what I'm talking about real quick. His contact versus lefties is 70, 81 versus righties, 92 power versus lefties, which is respectable, and 115 versus righties, which is elite. But we're talking about an average contact of 75 and a half, average power of 103 and a half, and vision's 89, which is I like that. But clutch also being an 87. If he had 100 plus clutch, it would wipe away the contact problems. I think for me, because he would at least be solid in the clutch, great power, and on the lefty team, give him a little boost. But it's just you got to do too much to this guy. Right, eligible captains, he does fit Nolan Arenado, Kershaw, Carrasco, and Lindor, obviously, because of the Guardians. This is a really cool feature, right? Showzone tells you what captains fit the card that you're looking at. That is an incredibly good feature, man. I love that. Shout out to them for what they do, right? Shows you player ranks. Where this player ranks is a lefty hitter versus righties, 55. Like, these are incredible stats. Like, just if you're a nerd like me for the game, man. If you're a nerd like me for this game, slurp up these things. You know what I mean? Pause. No Diddy. Reynaldo Lopez, the easiest F I've ever given, and he's the worst. I don't know if I should put the worst F card in front or back. Probably in the back. Just nothing redeemable. No velo. Pitches are generic. Unfortunate that for Braves fans. Zack Wheeler, S tier. Probably the best pitcher in the drop. Best pitches. Let me open up his card real quick. I believe the pitch mix will be shown. Where's he throw? Four seam, sinker, cutter, slurve, splitter. A nuts like pitch mix. They have the individual velo, control, and breaks for every pitch too. His sinker has 94 velo, 92 control, 99 break on it. Yeah, I mean a must, right? Hits per 9, 103, K per 9, 85, not that bad. 86 walks per 9, pretty solid. 104 clutch, stamina at 98. About as good as it's going to get, man. It's about as good as it's going to get. Definitely pick up Zack Wheeler, and he fits the lefty boost, lefty team, because he's a left-handed hitter. And obviously he fits the Phillies boosts too, so very cool. I like that card a lot. S tier. Tanner Houck, A tier. Love the pitch mix, love the pitch breaks, and I like primary slider pitchers. You know, hits per 996, 102 walks per 9, clutch 90, kind of low, but when you dot, it makes up for it, I think. And look at this control and break on all of his pitches. Oh my goodness. Sinker, 99 break, 98 control, 93 velo. Slider, 84 velo, 99 control and break on it. Splitter, same thing, across the board, nasty. Big Tanner Houck guy. Unfortunately, only fits the Red Sox stuff, but it is what it is. Tyler Glass now, C tier. Just his pitches, man. They don't, and he's very readable. They give him a sinker, which is cool, but it ain't gonna help him. Took away his changeup, I think, right? Or he doesn't have one. So, Corbin Burns, I'll go S tier. I think he's a little bit overrated. People use Corbin Burns and they just spam cutter in, sinker low and away, repeat. It's so easy to hit him now, in my opinion, and I think it hurts him when he pitches from the stretch. I think he's just easy to pitch with, so people like him a lot. I still think he's very effective, and I still think he's a top 5 pitcher if you're not using any captain boosts and you're just picking one up. So for all those things combined and great pitch mix, I'll give him S tier. But I don't think he's better than Zack Wheeler, but I think he's just, for how quick you can get him and what he does with the meta pitch mix, solid. Logan Webb, I'm gonna give B tier. He dots incredibly, but his per 9s are so weak. They're so weak, man. It's so unfortunate. You know, he's got 86 hits per 9, 85K per 9, 109 walks per 9, which is insane, but only 87 clutch. I think he'll do better than people give him credit for. I mean, look at his pitch breaks and his controls. 99 for control and break on the sinker. Same for the changeup. 95 control on the slurve with 99 break. Control and velo is good on the 4-seam, but no break. Who cares? Cutter. Not a lot of break on it, but great control and velo. I think he's pretty underrated. Definitely someone I'm going to give a shot, you know. Give a shot in the rotation too, you know? Why not? Getting down to the final 8 here. Mason Miller. I really ranked all these guys already? Yes, that's it. Mason Miller. I'm gonna go B tier. He needs a cutter. 4-seam slider changeup. It's just, he's okay, but the cutter would have given him an A tier, I think. You can make it work. But, you know, I think his pitch breaks are more than, you know, let me see. Yeah, I mean, 124 and 125 hits in K prime respectively, with the control being pretty poor. But 87 clutch is brutal, dude. That's tough for a reliever. I mean, his breaks and velo are solid, but changeup's kind of flat, actually, and no control on it. So, yeah, not great. I don't think that does Mason Miller justice. Garrett Crochet, I give him a C tier. No outlier. No real meta pitches, I think. Not really insanely deceptive. I think righties pulverize him, so C tier. Get away with him every now and then. 4 to 5 ERA, I think. Not great. Scooble, A tier for a couple reasons. His per 9s aren't ridiculously impressive, but they're nice and well balanced. Control's really solid. Clutch is nice, which I like. I like these substats here a little bit. Nice to add a knuckle curve, which is good. It's a plus. I miss him being a primary slider pitcher. I miss that a lot. I really do. His changeup's his best pitch now. And his pinpoint is incredibly hard to get down. That's one of the reasons why he's in A tier, and he's kind of readable a little bit. Very much a rhythm guy. You can kind of get his rhythm down, hit him really well. But I love using him. I like pitching with him. And if you use the lefty team like I do a lot, he's very solid. Logan Gilbert, they took away his sinker, so for me, he's C tier. Nothing particularly impressive. Sorry, Logan. If you're watching this, you're not. But if you are. Former college competitor of mine in the same conference when we played. Tanner Scott, A tier. They gave him a changeup. 4-seam slider. 4-seam slider, changeup, sinker. His sinker's kind of flat. Changeup's also kind of flat. But that slider and that sinker, or that slider and the fastball are really disgusting. So, especially that slider. That slider is really gross. So I like that. We're really starving for lefties. And having 125 hits per 9, 110 K per 9 with 125 clutch really makes up for the lack of control. Having my fantasy team, actually. So A tier, definitely a plus to your pen, whoever you are. Not going to hurt you. Not going to make your team worse. Shota, C tier. Even though I used him, actually. I used Shota in a debut, actually, and he did pretty well, even at Shield Woods. I'll show you why. So, hits per 9, not bad, 97. 84 K per 9 is kind of low. 105 walks per 9, great. Clutch, 89. That sucks, but here we go. Look at the fastball. Crazy good. Everything else, his pitch breaks and his individual control, and even obviously the velo, it's bad. The cutter actually has somewhat decent velo and break, rough control, but these three here, especially the splitter and the slurve being so poor on the advanced stuff here, you can kind of see it. It's pretty flat. And they took away his 2-seamer in favor of a cutter, which I like cutters. I wish took away the 12-6 curveball. It's an absolute waste. Look at it. It's just mid, 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 and mid. So wish they got rid of that and gave him 2-seam back. He'd be a lot better. Not doing him justice. His second card was better. Chase card was awful. This card's bad. The other one was pretty good. Underrated. Ryan Hesley, C tier. He's a clone of like, might go B tier. Actually, the per nines are solid. Actually, 114 hits per nine, 101K per nine, 90 walks per nine, 116 clutch, and his breaks on his four seam and slider, the advanced stuff are pretty solid. The curve is kind of whack. It's a useless pitch, man. Give him his changeup back, please. I beg you. But he does have outlier and pretty good stats, so I'll give him that. You know, you can kind of get an inning out of him with the per nines. I think they carry him to at least B tier. And Mr. Duck, B tier. Weirdly, really high hits per nine and good stamina. Elite control too, with the velo being so low. 125 clutch. A lot of, you know, the K per nine being 71 is brutal, but when you throw slow, you don't really. Look, here's the dealio. When you already throw as slow as Mr. Duck does here, it doesn't matter about K per nine. No one's gonna swing and miss anyways. He does fit Maddox and he does fit Clayton Kershaw, but this is the big one, right? You max him out hits per nine, makes him a lot better. Pretty much max him out at P5. You will. And if you look at his pitches, 99 pitch break on the cutter, 95 on the sinker. Do not throw that slider. God damn. Changeup's kind of weak, actually, but it's really slow. And the fastball, pretty good break on it. An 89 velo is interesting. It's considered diamond, but a sleeper. Definitely someone you can get a lot of innings out of, too. And kind of, if you're painting, which you will with him, he'll be easy and fun to pitch with. And a little bit deceptive with that little leg kick, so not bad. That ranks everybody. We have 6 S tier cards. Ellie, Brian Reynolds, Ryan McMahon, Salvador Perez, Zack Wheeler, and Corbin Burns. A tier, Correa, Ketel Marte, CJ Abrams, Juan Soto, Christian Yelich, Vladimir Guerrero, Tanner Houck, Turk Skubal, and Tanner Scott. You know, I'm thinking about putting Ketel Marte in S tier. I think even with his lower numbers versus righties, he might be. Because he's 95, 80 at, no, I think he may. It's just a little too weak. He's the highest, though. Definitely. Correa, take another look at him, actually. 111, 110 contacts, 117 power, 82. Fielding, vision 85, fielding 80, 87 arm strength, 74 reaction. That's the tough one. 74 reaction with his speed rating being a 58. I don't think he's S tier. If Ellie's S tier, Carlos Correa can't be S tier, but he's really damn close. All right, B tier. Altuve, Isaac Paredes, Pete Alonso. Let me make sure I don't have him in C tier here. I think I might have Pete in C. 95, 94 contacts, 112 power, 97 vision, 85. Fielding kind of weak. Nah, he's actually not bad. He's pretty well-rounded offensively. And if it's Devers and Arenado, yeah, pretty well-rounded. Okay, B tier. Altuve, Paredes, Pete Alonso, Logan Webb, Mason Miller, Ryan Hesley, and Tyler Anderson, Mr. Duck. C tier, Luis Arias, Tyler Glasnow, Garrett Crochet, Logan Gilbert, and Shota Imanaga. D tier, only one is Marcus Semien. Only one is Marcus Semien. Because he's not really usable, I think, overall. He's not really well balanced, but in his niche, he does well. Josh Naylor and Reynaldo Lopez are the only F tier cards, and this shows you how good of a drop this is. Only 3 cards below C, and the majority of cards are in A, with the second most being in B, third after that being S, and you can make a case that in their niche, these cards can perform as well as a B card. If you have to do, you gotta do a lot of mending to them, but overall, really solid. And let me know what you guys think in the comments below, man. Let me know what you guys think about what would you do differently? Who would you swap around? Let me know. And build one yourself if you want to. Have some fun with it. I'll catch you guys soon, man. Peace.